Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2024. I want to talk to you about a session that I've designed today to work on incisive passes into the box. So just working on finding examples of where we're in the box, looking for to receive and shoot, bearing down on the goalie with the defender on you, just trying to recreate as many situations as we can in regards to shooting. Just giving those players those mental pictures. The way I describe it to my players is that in the game, you're calling upon your practice. Your brain is like, I've been here before, and it's going to seek as many things that is common to that as possible to try to make the best decision. So if you have pictures of, in this certain area, you turned and you were able to score here, and this is where the defender went, it'll create those pictures and you build up that game intelligence. It's a good thing to shoot, in static drills where you're, pass, touch, shot, whatever it may be, to get working on the technique, but then that technique is going to fail if you don't have those pictures in your head of situations and you're able to do it. Or, well, if he's here, this is where I can move. Those kind of things to recall. If it's just, hey, I'm shooting, now that you're throwing in defenders here, or that kind of skews the picture and makes it more difficult for your players' brains to recall these the training, all right, and to utilize the appropriate skill in that appropriate situation. So this session is designed to work on that and work on finding them. In a variety of different situations, so they can draw upon these come game time. So here, I call this one Pomo Chaos, Pomo being the position of most opportunity, which is, generally speaking, around like the 6-yard box out to the 18. This is where the overall majority of goals in the modern game are scored from. Whether that's crosses from the wide areas, whether that's balls into the box, whether that's penalties, through balls into the box, scoring 1v1, the majority of goals are scored in this area, the position of most opportunity. So I call it Pomo Chaos. It's a little bigger than the Pomo because we use the entire 18. But essentially, you have a player in red who's working as kind of a neutral player. You have a player in yellow and you have a player in black. And there's a lot of different groups. Okay, and you can make it. I'll talk about making a team game here. But essentially, you have one player working against the other player to receive from the player in red. So the player in red passes, plays the ball because the defender's on the outside, plays to the inside. This player scores. They get a point. Now, there's going to be a lot of players in the box, so it might be a little bit dangerous for a goalkeeper. You can replace this simply by having just pug goals in the corners and having them shoot for the corners if you don't feel comfortable having a goalie worrying about multiple shots coming at them. For younger guys, I think the goalie's fine. You generally speaking, you're not going to have too many blasts at the goal. But then also there's sometimes when maybe they don't have that control. So it's kind of up to you. But you can have a goalie, you can pug goals, whatever. They're looking to score within this situation. So we have that's going on, but these players are also trying to score here. Now the way we make it a team game is we can team these guys up. You have a 3-man team. You pick who's going to be your defender, who's going to be your passer, and who's going to be your scorer. And you kind of try to make it work to the best of each player's ability. And then maybe as the coach, you have them rotate. So one player has to do it this turn, the next turn, pick a new defender. So essentially, this would be the neutral player, the attacker, and the defender would go and defend somebody else, and someone else's defender would defend them. So defenders don't have to mark one person, but there's just defenders running around the box trying to pick up marks. So now you've got a communication aspect defensively, and you've got the offense using that confusion to try to find gaps in the defense's positioning. So this keeps going. You get points for goals. You can be knockout. You play like a World Cup. If your guy scores, your team moves on to the next round until it's just 2v2, and then that person gets knocked out. There's a variety of different things you can do, but the key focus here is that their players are receiving in the box, all right? And with all the traffic there, they have to get a shot off in 2 or 3 touches at least. Maybe 1 touch would be if we have the chance. So it's creating that hectic situation. There's so many people running around. There's so many other factors, and it's kind of stimulation overload, which is essentially what's going to happen when a player receives the ball in the box. They're going to be, you have 2 seconds, make a decision, bearing down you, goalie's coming out, defenders are coming back. It's going to be high intensity pressure situation, and we're trying to recreate that as much as possible within this game. So we're talking about things when we're teaching players. We're talking about first touch, keeping the ball, driving the ball far enough away from you so you can stride into your shot, but not too close because then it's under your feet, getting caught up. We're talking about feints, dodging one way, getting your defender to bite one way to create space for a quick turn and a swivel and a shot. Different moves we can utilize in this area, and we're just trying to give these players as many situations where we can teach those ideas within the confines of this game. So here we move to another game here. We're going to put another 18 on here. And essentially we have a grid here, 18 out, about 10, 15 yards here. So it's same kind of concept where we have the passer here, they're on the ball. Maybe we have multiple passers, maybe we just have one, and they build up. There's a lot of different variety you can have in this game, but essentially what we have here is, let's start with just 3 guys in this box, 3 defenders, and they're just defending everyone. We have 3 attackers. All right, and we might set up a defender later on, but we essentially want to have this 18 split in half and a goalie. So the point of this game is for the red player to pass a ball that breaks the yellow line into the 18, and for this player to shove a shot. So if we're looking for this, maybe we give the player 2 touches, maybe 1 touch. They're playing through ball. They got to find a shot from wherever it is to simulate the defender bearing down on them, and the defenders aren't allowed to leave this grid. You can also have it where the defender is allowed to leave the grid, and we can create a 1v1 in the 18 with look to shoot. And again, even there, maybe we give them 3 seconds or 4 touches or something like that. They can utilize to try to beat the defender and get a shot off, whatever that may be. One of the rules for the game is, though, that we can only have 1 player in the box at a time. So we can't just have this player like take 3 balls and just play over the top and then just kind of trying to bum rush them and get enough players in. So only 1 player in black can enter. So we're kind of creating that as like an offsides rule. So you have to be scanning and looking around, because if he enters the box and enters the box at the same time, we've wasted energy and no one can shoot. One way to play the game is you can keep score. Whoever has the most goals throughout this game. But another way is elimination. So essentially, if you score, you're out, but the defenders stay the same. So now you went from 3v3 to 2v3. He scores again, and the game can get very complicated. So it's kind of like you're rushing to score as fast as possible, so you have the most people in the box and most distractions as possible. Now you have a 3v1, and they're really worried about you, and now you really have to worry about making the right move and looking for that shot. To up the difficulty, we would add a defender in each box over here. The defenders can't leave their box, this grid of the 18, and halfway through the 18. So you can kind of cut into space if this defender is worried about somebody else blocking a pass here. If we have more, you can have this player come over here and pass now. If we have more passers, so maybe he's worried here. So this attacker is in the box, they receive, they cut into this area, knowing this defender can't follow them, and this defender is too far out here, and they find the space in between. And that's just giving them the concept of attacking gaps in the opposition's defense, looking for gaps in our runs, trying to break lines and things like that. So you're getting a lot of different things out of here. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of work it out. I'd love to hear in the comments some of the ways you'd like to utilize this drill and how you would make it competitive or make it useful for your team, or how you'd like it to tweak it or even improve it. So from there, and maybe we start with this drill instead of it being our third drill, if you want, because it's a little more stationary. All right, but here maybe I do this quick. It's kind of like we want to keep intensity up, but we want to give a little bit of rest. So we want to go high intensity for a few seconds, but give them a lot of time downtime. We essentially just have same thing with 3 different kind of players. We have your defending player, we have your attacking player, and we have a neutral passer. And so for this one, simply, again, maybe this is kind of like, hey, we've gone high intensity, because players in those first 2 drills will get very tired. It's a lot of movement, a lot of quick diagonal movement within the box, high tempo, constantly trying to shake a defender. So if you need a break, but you want to keep them moving, here you have a player play the ball into the grid. Now you can make them so it's closer together, so it's a little harder. Where you can make them pass wherever, or you can make them pass through, say, like a gate. Oops, no, right here. They pass to this gate in order for the pass to count, whatever that may be. But essentially, it's very simple. You have this player runs to the ball, this player runs to the ball. Oh, missed. We have our goalie, and the goalie is going to try to save this. Defender is going to press it, the shot. So we're looking to create 1v1s in here. If you want to make it a little bit more like the player is on a breakaway, but there's a player coming at them, you can move the cones over here. All right. If you want it to look like is a player is worried about a player sliding while they're on a breakaway, you can put the player here. And you can just move things around depending on what kind of game situation you want. So you're keeping things a little lighter, giving them a longer break, and they're waiting in line. But you're getting still spouts of intensity, and you can use this as teaching. Hey, our first touch should be inside a frame, but we want to go forward here, so we can create the goalie bites on this, and we have the back post, and just teach those fine little points before you get into a full-sided scrimmage, where again you're looking for players to play the ball into the box, find Pomo, and then utilize the skills that they've used throughout the session to hopefully find some finishing. So one more time, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching, And I hope this session, and with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2024, I hope this session finds you well.